You understand some words, maybe even full sentences, but when it's your turn to speak, nothing comes. You freeze. You search for words, and then the moment is gone. In this video, I will show you how to train your mind to think in English and your tongue to speak it naturally, simply, without fear. This is not about memorizing rules. This is about living in English so it becomes a part of you. If you've ever wished you could just open your mouth and speak without translating, watch until the end. Every chapter will pull you closer to that goal. Chapter 1. The day I stopped translating. I remember that day like it happened this morning. I was in a small cafe. The smell of coffee was in the air. The chairs were close together. People were talking. I heard English words around me. A man turned to me and said something. He smiled and waited for my answer. My heart started to beat faster. My brain was racing. I understood the words. I knew what he asked. But my mind started working like a slow machine. First I thought in my own language. Then I tried to turn my answer into English. It felt heavy. It felt slow. The man was still smiling. But my words did not come. I opened my mouth, but the sentence was not ready. I searched for the right words. I found one, then another. I spoke slowly. I was too late. The moment was gone. The man nodded politely and turned away. I sat there feeling small. I felt like my English was hiding inside me. I could not bring it out when I needed it. That day, I walked home thinking about what happened. I knew the problem. I was living in translation. Every time someone spoke English to me, my mind ran back to my first language. It was like I had to cross a bridge each time. First I went to one side, then back again. It was slow. It was tiring. And it made me feel like I was never fast enough to be part of the conversation. I thought about children who speak English. They do not translate. They do not think about rules. They just talk. They see a dog. They say dog. They feel hungry. They say, I am hungry. They do not first think in another language. They live in English. I wanted that. I wanted English to live in me the same way. That night, I made a decision. I would stop translating. I would train my brain to think in English directly. No middle step. No bridge to cross. I did not know exactly how, but I knew I had to start. The next morning, I woke up and decided to try something new. I sat on my bed and looked around my room. I saw my pillow. I said pillow. I saw the window. I said window. I touched my blanket and said blanket. It felt strange at first, but I kept going. I brushed my teeth and said, I am brushing my teeth. I poured tea and said, I am making tea. At first, the words were slow. I had to search for them. But each time I said a word in English, I felt a small light turning on in my brain. Slowly, the light was growing. That week, I also started listening more. Not for every word, but for the feeling of the sentences. I listened to how people joined words together. I listened to the rhythm. I noticed that my brain began to catch English faster. It was like a song I was starting to remember. The first time I noticed the change was in a store. The shopkeeper asked me a question. Normally, I would stop, think, translate, and answer. But this time, the words just came. I said my answer in English without even thinking in my first language. It felt natural. It felt free. I walked out of the store with a smile. I thought, this is it. This is how I will live now. From that moment, I practiced thinking in English everywhere. On the bus, I looked at people and said in my mind, he is reading. She is talking. They are laughing. In the park, I said, the sun is warm. The wind is soft. I did it in my head and sometimes out loud when I was alone. Each day, my mind became faster. My sentences became smoother. My fear started to go away. I stopped feeling like English was a subject I studied. It started to feel like a part of me. And the more I used it, the stronger it became. Stopping translation changed everything for me. It opened the door to real conversations. It gave me the speed to speak when the moment came. It gave me confidence to join in, not just watch from the side. If you are stuck translating, I know how it feels. It is slow, it is tiring, and it keeps you outside the real flow of English. But you can change it. You can train your mind to live in English. Start small. Name the things you see. Say what you are doing. Listen for the feeling of the language, not just the words. And one day, you will notice it too, the moment your brain stops translating and starts speaking for you. That day will change your life. Chapter 2. Why thinking in English feels impossible at first. When you first try to think in English, it feels strange. It feels like you are wearing clothes that do not fit. Your brain says, "This is not my language." You feel slow. You feel unsure. You search for words, and they hide from you. This is normal. This is what happens to every learner at the beginning. It is not a sign that you are bad at English. It is a sign that you are learning something new. I remember my first week trying to think in English. My mind fought against me. It kept pulling me back to my first language. I would try to say a simple thought like, "I am hungry," and my brain would first send it to my native language. Then it would slowly bring it into English. I felt like I was carrying a heavy bag up a hill. Every sentence was work. I thought, why is this so hard for me? The truth is, your brain is used to habits. Thinking in your first language is a habit you have practiced your whole life. You have done it since you were a baby. It is your safe place. English is new. Your brain does not trust it yet. It feels risky. That is why it keeps pulling you back to your old way of thinking. When you feel this resistance, you might think, maybe English is not for me. But that is not true. Every person who speaks English today once struggled like this. Even the most fluent speakers had moments when their brain wanted to run back to comfort. The difference is, they kept going. Thinking in English is like training a new muscle. On the first day, the muscle feels weak. It shakes. It gets tired quickly. But the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. You do not see the result after 1 or 2 days. But after weeks and months, you will notice a change. The sentences will come faster. The words will appear without calling them. And one day, you will think in English without even realizing it. At the start, you will make mistakes. You will use the wrong word. You will forget simple things. Sometimes you will stop in the middle of a sentence because your brain feels empty. This is not failure. This is growth. Each mistake is like a small stone on the road. You step over it and keep walking. And every step you take makes the road smoother. One thing that makes thinking in English easier is to lower your expectations in the beginning. Many learners want to think in perfect, beautiful English from day one. That pressure will crush you. Instead, aim for simple, clear thoughts. If you want to say, "I am feeling very tired today because I worked late yesterday," but your brain freezes, cut it down. Just think, "I am tired today." That is enough. The longer sentences will come later. Another reason it feels impossible at first is fear. You are afraid of sounding wrong. Afraid of what people might think. Afraid that you will not understand their answer. Fear slows your brain. It builds a wall between your thoughts and your words. The best way to break this wall is to practice in safe places. Talk to yourself. Speak to the mirror. Name things in your room. Build confidence without pressure. Then, when you talk to others, you will feel lighter and faster. In the beginning, your progress will be small. You might only think 1 or 2 sentences in English each day, but those sentences are seeds. If you keep planting them, your mind will become a garden of English. You will start to think more and more without effort. The small becomes big. The slow becomes fast. The impossible becomes natural. When you feel like giving up, remember this. Your brain is learning a new way to live. It is rewiring itself. That is powerful. That is something not everyone dares to do. You are not just learning a language. You are building a new version of yourself. So if thinking in English feels impossible right now, smile. It means you are in the exact place where the change begins. Do not run away from this feeling. Walk through it. Every day you push yourself, you are making the impossible possible. And one day, you will look back and realize that your brain speaks English before you even notice it. That will be the day you know all your effort was worth it. Chapter 3. The first words you should live with. When you want to think and speak in English, you do not start with a big dictionary. You do not start with hundreds of grammar rules. You start with small, powerful words that you can use every single day. These words are like your first friends in English. They stay with you all the time. They help you in every situation. They make your brain feel safe in the new language. When I began, I made a mistake. I tried to learn too many words at once. I wrote long lists. I memorized them like a school test. But when I needed them in real life, they were gone. My mind was blank. I realized I was not living with these words. I was only visiting them. And just like strangers, they left quickly. So I changed my plan. I asked myself, what words do I need every day? I thought about my morning. I wake up, I drink water, I eat breakfast. I go outside. I talk to people. These simple actions gave me my first English words. Words like water, eat, go, come, sit, stand, happy, tired, hungry. These words are not special because they are big or difficult. They are special because they live in your daily life. You can see them. You can use them many times a day. And when you use a word many times, it becomes part of your thinking. You stop translating. You start feeling it. I remember one morning I woke up and said out loud, I am thirsty. I did not plan to say it. I did not translate it. It just came. That was the power of living with a simple word like thirsty. I used it so much that my brain kept it ready for me. It was mine. The secret is to choose a small group of words and make them your world. Put them everywhere. Write them on sticky notes and place them around your home. Say them when you see the object. Whisper them when you use them. If you drink water, say water. If you sit on a chair, say chair. If you are happy, say happy. Every time you use the word, you make it stronger inside you. Do not be ashamed of starting small. Some learners feel they must know thousands of words to speak English. That is not true. Even with 50 strong, active words, you can say a lot. You can connect them to make sentences. You can describe your life. You can ask questions. And as you use these words, new words will join naturally. Think of it like building a small house. You do not start with 100 rooms. You start with one room. You make it strong. You live in it. Then you add another room. Slowly, your house grows. Your English will grow the same way. The beautiful thing about living with your first words is that they give you confidence. You feel ready to speak because you know these words are your friends. They will not leave you in the middle of a sentence. And when you are confident, you speak more. When you speak more, you learn more. You can even make a game with yourself. For 1 week, choose 10 words. Use them as many times as you can. Say them when you are alone. Use them in messages to friends. Listen for them in songs or videos. At the end of the week, those words will feel natural. Then you choose 10 more. Step by step, your English world becomes bigger. I also learned that the first words you live with should fit your life. If you love cooking, learn words like knife, spoon, boil, taste. If you love sports, learn ball, run, jump, win. When the words match your life, they stay longer in your mind. You will use them more. You will remember them without effort. Do not wait for the perfect word list from a book. Create your own. Look at your day. Look at your hobbies. Look at what you talk about most. Those are your first words. They will be the seeds of your English thinking. The day you start living with your words, you will feel a change. You will begin to hear them in your mind before you say them. You will see them when you look at things. And slowly, English will stop feeling like something outside you. It will feel like a language you carry inside, ready to use anytime. So choose your first words today. Make them your friends. Live with them. Speak them. Think them. And soon, they will open the door to more words, more sentences, and more confidence than you ever thought possible. Chapter 4. Talking to yourself without feeling silly. One of the most powerful ways to think and speak in English is to talk to yourself. Yes, I know it sounds strange. Maybe it even sounds a little silly. But I can tell you from my own experience, it is one of the fastest and most effective ways to make English your daily language. The truth is, the best conversation partner you have is you. You are always there. You never judge yourself. You can practice anytime and anywhere. When I first tried this, I felt shy even though I was alone. I thought, what if someone hears me? What if they think I am crazy? But then I realized something. Nobody cares. People talk to themselves all the time in their own language. They mumble when they are thinking. They whisper when they are reading. So why should English be different? I started small. In the morning, when I woke up, I said simple sentences to myself. Good morning. I feel tired. I will drink water. I spoke them out loud, slowly and clearly. At first, it felt strange, but after a few days, it started to feel natural. My mouth got used to making English sounds. My brain started to connect my thoughts to my voice. The magic of talking to yourself is that you control the speed. You can pause. You can repeat. You can correct yourself without embarrassment. If you make a mistake, you simply try again. Nobody is watching. There is no pressure. This safe space is where real progress happens. I began to do it all the time. When I cooked, I said, I am cutting vegetables. I am boiling water. I am making tea. When I walked outside, I said in my mind, the sun is bright. The street is busy. That man is running. I described what I saw, what I felt, and what I was doing. These simple moments trained my brain to think directly in English. The more I practiced, the faster I became. I stopped needing to translate. The words were ready before I even knew it. I was training my mind like an athlete trains their muscles. Every small practice added strength. Sometimes I pretended I was speaking to someone. I would stand in front of the mirror and ask myself a question. Then I would answer it. How are you today? I am fine, thank you. What are you doing? I am reading a book. This helped me prepare for real conversations. When someone actually asked me these questions in real life, I could answer quickly because I had already practiced many times with myself. The biggest change was in my confidence. I used to be afraid of speaking English because I thought I was not ready. But when you talk to yourself every day, You realize you are more ready than you think. You already know how to say many things. You already know how to respond. That fear starts to fade. One day, I was in a shop and the cashier asked me a question. Without thinking, I answered in English. My voice was clear. My words came easily. It felt like I was still talking to myself, but now there was another person in the conversation. That is the power of this practice. If you want to try this, start today. Do not wait. Pick a time when you are alone. Say 3 simple sentences about what you are doing. Then say 3 more about what you see. Then say 3 more about what you feel. Keep it easy. Keep it natural. The goal is not perfection. The goal is comfort and speed. The more you talk to yourself, the more English becomes your habit. It will stop feeling like a subject you study. It will start feeling like your own language. And when you speak to other people, it will not feel like something new. It will feel like something you have been doing every day. Talking to yourself is not silly. It is smart. It is the secret that many fluent speakers used without even knowing it. To use it, practice it, liven it, and watch how your English grows faster than you ever imagined. Chapter 5: Seeing English, not just hearing it. When you learn English, most people tell you to listen more. And yes, listening is important. But if you only hear English and never see it, your brain will not connect the words to your life. Thinking in English starts when you can see it in your mind. You must not only hear English. You must see it, feel it, and live it with your eyes open. When I first started learning, I listened to English videos every day. I understood some words. But when I tried to speak, my mind was empty. It felt like the words never stayed with me. I realized I was only hearing English like background noise. I was not connecting it to the world around me. One day, I tried something new. I decided that every time I saw something, I would name it in English. If I saw a tree, I said tree. If I saw a car, I said car. If I saw a child running, I said the child is running. I did this in my head or out loud if I was alone. Very quickly, something amazing happened. My mind started to see English everywhere. When you see English, you do not just memorize a word from a book. You connect it to a real thing, a real moment. That connection is strong. You will not forget it. If you read the word apple in a list, you may forget it tomorrow. But if you see an apple, hold it, and say apple, your brain will remember. The image and the sound will stay together in your memory. You can practice this anywhere. In your kitchen, look at your cup and say cup. Look at your spoon and say spoon. When you wash your hands, say water, soap, clean. When you walk outside, say street, shop, people, sky. Every place becomes your classroom. This is not just about single words. You can see actions in English too. If your friend is eating, think he is eating. If the dog is sleeping, think the dog is sleeping. If the sun is shining, think the sun is shining. Your eyes will help your brain build sentences faster than just hearing them. I remember the day I realized how powerful this was. I was in the park. Children were playing. Dogs were running. The wind was moving the leaves. Without thinking, I started describing everything in my head in English. I did not have to stop or translate. It felt natural, like watching a movie with English subtitles in my mind. Seeing English also helps when you cannot understand every word someone says. If a person talks too fast, you can look at the situation and guess the meaning. For example, if you see a waiter holding a menu and speaking, you know he is asking what you want to order. You do not need to translate every single word to understand. This builds your confidence and makes you less afraid to speak. To make this a habit, Choose a few minutes each day to practice seeing English. Pick a place. It can be your room, your garden, your street. Look around and describe everything in simple English. Do it slowly. Do it clearly. Repeat the words if you need to. Over time, you will start doing it without thinking. This way of learning is powerful because it matches how children learn. A child hears the word ball while looking at a ball. That connection is strong. They do not need a translation. They know it by sight and sound together. You can give yourself the same experience, no matter your age. The more you see English in your daily life, the less you will depend on your first language. You will not think, "What is this word in my language?" You will think, "What is this in English?" And soon, you will not even ask the question. You will just know. Your world is already full of English. You just need to open your eyes and find it. Every object, every action, every moment can be part of your learning. If you practice this daily, you will start to feel that English is not something far away. It is right here, in front of you, living with you. So today, start seeing English, not just hearing it. Let your eyes teach your brain. Let every moment be a lesson. And watch how quickly your thoughts turn into English without you even trying. Chapter 6. Short sentences are your power. Many English learners believe that speaking well means using long and difficult sentences. They think they must use big grammar and complex words to sound smart. But this is a mistake. Long sentences slow you down. They make you hesitate. They make you afraid to speak. The truth is, short sentences are your power. When you speak in short sentences, you speak faster. You feel confident. You do not have to stop in the middle to remember the next word. You do not get lost inside your own thoughts. You deliver your message clearly. The listener understands you. And you feel proud because you said what you wanted without fear. I remember a time when I tried to speak like the movies. I wanted to impress people. I used long sentences in my head. But when I tried to speak them, I got stuck. I forgot the words. My voice stopped. The person I was talking to waited. I felt embarrassed. That day, I learned something important. Speaking is not about showing off. Speaking is about being understood. From then on, I started practicing short sentences. Instead of saying, "I was thinking that maybe we could go to the market later if you have some free time," I said, "Let's go to the market later." Instead of saying, "I am feeling quite hungry because I have not eaten anything since morning," I said, "I am hungry." It was faster. It was easier. And it worked. Short sentences are also the best way to train your brain to think in English. When you make them short, you make them easy to remember. You repeat them many times. They become automatic. Your brain will not need to translate. The words will be ready. You will speak without stopping. Children learn this way. They do not start with long explanations. They start with, "I want water. I like this. I am happy." These sentences are simple, but they are full of life. And from these simple sentences, their language grows. You can do the same. Choose short sentences you can use every day. Practice them until they feel natural. For example, "I am ready. I am busy. I feel tired. It is good. I like it." You can use these in many situations. They will give you a voice even when your vocabulary is small. Some learners worry that short sentences make them sound like beginners. But this is not true. Even native speakers use short sentences all the time. When they are talking in real life, they choose the easiest way to say something. They do not always speak like a book. The beauty of short sentences is that you can combine them when you are ready. At first, you say, "I like this." Later, you can add more. I like this because it is beautiful. Step by step, your sentences grow naturally. You do not force them. You do not feel stress. You just add when you are ready. I remember practicing with a friend. We only used short sentences for 1 week. At first, it felt strange. But after a few days, we were talking more than before. There were no long pauses. There was no fear. We spoke quickly. We laughed more. We enjoyed the conversation because it was easy and free. Short sentences also help you listen better. When you speak simply, you can focus on what the other person says instead of worrying about your own next line. You can respond quickly. The conversation feels alive. If you want to start today, choose 5 short sentences. Use them everywhere. Repeat them when you wake up. Repeat them when you walk. Repeat them when you are alone. Say them until you do not even think about them. Then choose 5 more. This will build your speaking power step by step. Remember, the goal is not to sound like a textbook. The goal is to connect with people. The goal is to make your English a part of your life. And short sentences are the fastest way to do that. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait to learn every grammar rule. Start speaking now. Start short. Start simple. And soon, your short sentences will grow into strong conversations. That is the power you already have inside you. Chapter 7. Listening changes your thinking. When you want to think and speak in English, listening is not just an activity. It is the bridge that connects your mind to the language. Every word you hear in English is a seed. The more seeds you plant, the more your English grows. Listening is not only about understanding. It is about training your brain to think in English without effort. I used to believe that listening was only for learning new words. I thought I had to understand every single word, or it was useless. I was wrong. The truth is, even if you do not understand everything, your brain is still learning. It is hearing the sounds, the rhythm, the music of English. It is learning how words join together. And slowly, without you noticing, your mind begins to copy it. I remember a time when I listened to an English song every morning. At first, it was just noise. The words were too fast. I could only catch 1 or 2. But I kept listening. After a few weeks, I started hearing more. A phrase here, a sentence there. One day, I caught myself singing along without thinking. That was when I understood. Listening changes the way your brain works. When you listen often, your brain stops translating. It starts to expect English. It prepares for it. It becomes comfortable with it. This is why children learn so fast. They listen for hours every day. They hear English in stories, in conversations, in songs. They do not need to study grammar to start speaking. Their brain learns naturally through sound. You can do the same. The key is to listen every day, not once a week, not when you have free time. Every day, even 10 minutes is enough to make a difference. The more you hear, the more your brain will think in English. Do not wait until you find the perfect material. You can listen to anything. Podcasts, short videos, stories, songs. Even if the speaker talks fast, do not worry. Just keep listening. Your ears are learning even when your mind feels lost. One trick that helped me was to listen and imagine the scene. If the speaker said, "She is walking to the park," I pictured a woman walking under the trees. This made the words real in my mind. I was not only hearing them, I was seeing them. This helped me remember them longer. Listening also teaches you how sentences are built. You hear how native speakers start and finish their thoughts. You notice the small words that connect ideas. Words like and, but, so. These are the words that make your speech natural. The more you listen, the more phrases you will remember. You will start to hear a sentence and think, I can use that. And when you speak, those phrases will come out automatically. You will not have to build them from zero. I know some learners get frustrated when they cannot understand everything. They feel like they are failing. But this is not failure. This is part of the process. Understanding 100% is not the goal at the start. The goal is to train your brain to hear English and stay calm, to recognize the sounds, to feel the flow. I remember listening to an English podcast while cleaning my room. At first, I paid attention to every word. I got tired quickly. Then I just let it play in the background. I relaxed, and strangely, I started catching more words. That is because my brain was no longer stressed. It was simply listening. Make listening a habit. Put English in your ears when you wake up. Listen while you cook, while you walk, while you rest. Make it part of your life, not just your study time. The more English you hear, the more it will become your thinking language. One day, you will surprise yourself. Someone will speak to you in English, and you will answer without planning. You will not think in your first language first. You will respond in English because your brain is ready. That is the moment you will know that listening has changed the way you think. So start today. Listen more. Listen often. Listen without fear of not understanding everything. Let English enter your ears and fill your mind. And watch how, step by step, it becomes the voice inside your head. Chapter 8. Practice speaking in real time. If you want to think and speak in English, you must train yourself to respond in the moment. Not later. Not after you go home and think, I should have said this. The real change happens when you can speak in real time. This is when English becomes alive inside you. I remember many times when I was in a conversation, and the other person asked me a simple question. My mind froze. I understood them. I even knew the answer in my first language. But in English, the words felt stuck. And by the time I thought of the right sentence, the moment had passed. I felt disappointed. I wanted to go back and try again. But real life does not give you a rewind button. That is when I learned the secret. You must practice speaking in the same way you want to speak in real life. Fast, natural, and without too much thinking. This is not about speaking perfectly. This is about being ready. The first step is to lower the pressure. Many learners wait until they have the perfect answer before speaking. This makes you slow. Instead, say something simple. If someone asks, "What did you do today?" you do not need a long answer. You can say, "I went to work." Then, if you want, you can add, "It was busy." Short, quick answers keep the conversation moving and give you confidence. You can train for this every day. One method I used was to imagine someone asking me questions. I would answer as fast as I could. No pausing. No translating. Just speaking. Even if the sentence was not perfect, I kept going. The goal was speed and comfort, not perfection. Another great way is to practice with a timer. Give yourself 5 seconds to answer a question. This trains your brain to find words quickly. At first, it feels stressful. But after some days, you will be surprised how many sentences you can say in such a short time. Speaking in real time also means listening carefully. When you listen well, you do not have to prepare your answer too early. You stay in the moment. Then, when it is your turn, you respond naturally to what the person just said. This makes your English feel alive and connected, not like a memorized script. One of the best things I did was to practice with a friend who also wanted to improve. We played a game. We asked each other random questions and had to answer in 3 seconds. The questions were simple. What is your favorite food? Where do you want to go? What did you eat yesterday? At first, we laughed a lot because we made mistakes. But after a week, we were faster and more confident. You can even practice speaking in real time when you are alone. Pretend you are in different situations. Imagine you are buying something in a shop. Speak to the imaginary shopkeeper. Hello, how much is this? Imagine you are meeting someone new. Hi, nice to meet you. Imagine you are asking for help. Can you show me the way? These small role plays prepare you for real situations. The more you practice, the less afraid you will be in real life. Fear makes you slow. But if you have practiced enough, your words will come automatically. You will not have to push them out. They will be ready. The beauty of speaking in real time is that it builds a strong connection between your brain and your mouth. At first, there is a delay. But with practice, the delay disappears. Your thoughts and your words become one. This is when you truly start thinking in English. Do not be afraid of mistakes in real time. They are part of the process. Even native speakers make small mistakes when they speak fast. The important thing is to keep talking. If you stop to correct yourself all the time, you lose the flow. Keep the flow. Keep the conversation alive. One day, you will notice the difference. Someone will ask you a question, and before you even realize it, you are answering in English. No fear. No translation. No delay. That is the moment you will know that your practice is working. So start today. Give yourself small, quick speaking challenges. Practice answering in the moment. Talk to friends. Talk to strangers. Talk to yourself. The more you do it, the more your English will feel natural. And soon, you will not just speak in real time. You will live in English all the time. Chapter 9. Mistakes are the secret door. When you learn English, people often tell you to avoid mistakes. They say, be careful, speak correctly, and so you try to be perfect. You think before every word. You stop yourself when you are not sure. You wait until you have the perfect sentence in your head. But in doing this, you close the very door that can make you fluent. Mistakes are not the enemy. Mistakes are the secret door to faster learning. I remember when I first started speaking English. I was terrified of saying something wrong. I thought people would laugh at me. I thought they would not understand me. So I stayed quiet. I listened but did not speak. And every time I kept silent, my confidence became smaller. My English stayed in my head, locked away, because I was too afraid to let it out. One day, I met someone who changed the way I saw mistakes. He was a foreigner learning my language. He spoke with so many mistakes that I could not count them. But he smiled the whole time. He kept talking. And the amazing thing was, I understood him. His mistakes did not stop the message. His mistakes did not stop the connection. That was the moment I realized something powerful. People care more about your message than your mistakes. From that day, I decided to use my mistakes as my teacher. When I made one, I did not hide. I listened to how the other person answered me. If they repeated my sentence in the correct way, I noticed it. I remembered it. That mistake became a lesson. And because it was connected to a real moment, I never forgot it. Mistakes are not just lessons. They are proof that you are trying. If you never make mistakes, it means you are not speaking enough. You are staying in your safe zone. But fluency lives outside that safe zone. You must walk into the space where mistakes happen. That is where growth lives. Think about children again. They make mistakes all the time. They say the wrong tense. They forget words. They mix things up. But they keep talking. They laugh. They try again. And because they are not afraid, they improve quickly. You can learn from this. You do not need to feel shame when you are wrong. You need to feel proud that you tried. I started telling myself something every day. A mistake today means better English tomorrow. This simple thought gave me courage. I stopped waiting for perfection. I started speaking with the words I had. And the more I spoke, the more I learned. Sometimes people corrected me. Sometimes they did not. But even when no one corrected me, the act of speaking trained my brain. It made English faster and easier in my mind. And little by little, my mistakes became fewer. Not because I was avoiding them, but because I was learning from them. If you are afraid of mistakes, I understand. It feels uncomfortable. You do not want to look weak. You do not want to feel foolish. But remember, every fluent speaker you admire once made the same mistakes you are making now. The only difference is they kept going. The more you accept mistakes, the more confident you will feel. You will start to enjoy speaking. You will care less about being perfect and more about connecting with people. And that connection is the real purpose of language. So speak today. Make mistakes today. Learn from them. Do not wait until you feel ready. If you wait for perfection, you will wait forever. But if you walk through the secret door of mistakes, you will find a world where English feels natural, where you can express yourself without fear, and where every wrong word leads you to a better one. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They are a sign that you are alive in the language. And if you let them, they will take you further than perfection ever could. Chapter 10. Turning English into your daily habit. If you want to think and speak in English naturally, you cannot treat English like a special event. You cannot only study it once a week when you have time. You must live with it. You must make it part of your day, every day. The real change happens when English becomes your habit. When something is your habit, you do not fight to do it. You do not argue with yourself. You do not need to find motivation every single time. You just do it because it is part of your life. Like brushing your teeth. Like drinking water. Like checking your phone. It becomes automatic. That is exactly what you want for English. I remember when I tried to study only when I felt motivated. At first, it was exciting. But then, life got busy. Some days I skipped practice. Then 2 days. Then a week. My progress stopped. My confidence dropped. I realized I could not depend on mood. I had to build a habit so strong that even on my busiest day, English would still happen. So I started small. Very small. I decided that every morning, before I touched my phone, I would say 3 sentences in English. That was my rule. Just 3 sentences. Some days I said more. Some days I only said those 3. But I never skipped. That was the seed of my habit. You do not need hours to build this habit. You need moments. 5 minutes of English in the morning. 5 minutes in the evening. Listening to English while you walk. Naming objects in English while you cook. Reading 1 page of an English story before bed. These small actions are powerful when you do them every day. The secret is consistency, not size. A little every day beats a lot once a month. Your brain learns better with regular contact. Even short, simple practice keeps English fresh in your mind. It keeps your thinking active. It tells your brain, this is important. Keep it ready. When English is your daily habit, you stop asking yourself, should I practice today? There is no decision to make. It is just part of your day. This saves your energy and removes excuses. And the less you hesitate, the more you do. I also found that habits are easier when you connect them to something you already do. For example, if you drink tea every morning, make it your English tea time. While you drink, listen to a short English podcast. If you take the bus, make it your English bus time. Read or listen in English during the ride. This way, English becomes part of something you already enjoy. Another thing that helped me was tracking my habit. I put a small mark on a calendar every day I practiced. I did not want to break the chain. This simple visual reminder kept me going, even on days when I felt tired. Once English becomes a habit, amazing things happen. You start thinking in English without trying. You answer faster. You remember words more easily. And you do all this without feeling stressed, because it is just part of your normal life. Some days you will feel inspired. Other days you will feel lazy. But a true habit does not care about feelings. It keeps moving forward. And with each step, your English grows stronger. Do not wait for the perfect time to build this habit. The perfect time is now. Start small. Be consistent. Connect English to your daily life. And soon, you will not be learning English from outside. You will be living it from the inside. One day, you will look back and realize that the reason you can speak and think in English is not because of one big effort. It is because of hundreds of small moments, repeated day after day, until they became part of who you are. That is the power of turning English into your daily habit. Chapter 11. When your brain finally switches. There is a special moment in every language learner's journey. It does not happen on the first day. It does not happen after 1 or 2 weeks. It happens quietly, almost without you noticing. One day, your brain finally switches to English. And when it happens, it feels like magic. At first, you will not believe it. You will be doing something simple. Walking in the park, washing the dishes, sitting on the bus, and suddenly, a thought will come into your mind in English. You will not plan it. You will not translate it. It will just be there. Clear. Natural. Easy. That is the moment you will realize your brain is starting to live in English. I still remember my own moment. I was in the kitchen making tea. I reached for the sugar, and without thinking, I said to myself, I need more sugar. I stopped. I smiled. I had not translated. I had not searched for the words. They had come to me like water flowing from a tap. It was such a small sentence, but to me, it was huge. It was proof that my hard work was changing the way my mind worked. This switch does not happen by accident. It comes from all the small habits you have been building, all the short sentences you practiced, all the times you talked to yourself, all the times you sought English around you and named it. Every little moment is like adding a brick to a wall. One day, the wall is high enough to stand on. That is when the switch happens. When your brain switches, English feels lighter. You stop feeling like a student. You start feeling like a user of the language. You can join conversations without preparing every word in advance. You can listen and understand more without getting lost. You start to trust yourself. The first time you notice this change, you might think it is just luck. But it is not luck. It is the result of your consistency. It is the reward for showing up every day, even when you were tired, even when you thought you were not improving. This is why you must keep going, even if it feels slow right now. You might be in the stage where everything feels hard. You translate in your head. You forget words. You pause too much. But if you keep practicing, your brain will slowly rewire itself. One day, it will choose English first, without asking your permission. When this happens, you will start to enjoy speaking more. You will no longer be stuck in the fear of making mistakes. You will care more about the conversation than about every little detail of grammar. And this is where real fluency grows. The switch is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a new level. After your brain starts thinking in English, you will notice new challenges. You will want to speak faster. You will want to use more advanced words. But now, you will face these challenges with confidence instead of fear. I want you to know that your switch can happen sooner than you think. It does not require years of study. It requires daily connection to English. It requires courage to speak, even when you are unsure. It requires listening and seeing English every day. It requires patience with yourself. One day, you will be speaking to someone and you will realize that you did not translate a single word. You will walk away smiling, knowing that your brain has crossed over to a new way of thinking. That feeling is worth every bit of effort you put in. So keep going. Your switch is coming. Every sentence you say, every word you hear, every thought you try to express in English, all of it is moving you closer to that moment. And when it comes, you will never want to go back. Chapter 12. Talking becomes natural. There comes a time in your English journey when everything starts to feel different. Speaking is no longer something you have to prepare for. You do not sit there thinking about every word. You do not freeze when it is your turn. You just talk. The words flow out of your mouth like they belong there. Talking becomes natural. At first, this feels almost strange. You remember the days when you were afraid to say even one sentence. You remember how your heart would beat fast before speaking. You remember all those pauses, the moments of silence, the fear of mistakes. Now, you are speaking without even realizing how much progress you have made. I remember the first time I truly felt this. I was at a small gathering. People were chatting, laughing, and sharing stories. Someone asked me a question in English. I did not think. I just answered. Then I kept talking. I added details. I asked questions back. The conversation kept going, and I was part of it. I was not just a listener anymore. I was a speaker. When talking becomes natural, you feel free. You are not fighting with the language anymore. You are using it. You can focus on the message instead of the grammar. You can listen to the person instead of listening to your own fear. And this changes everything. This stage is not magic. It is the result of every single step you took. It comes from all the mornings you practiced short sentences, all the times you named objects in English, all the times you talked to yourself, all the mistakes you made and learned from. Every small habit has built this moment. The beauty is, you do not need to know every word to feel natural. You just need the confidence to use the words you do have. You can still express yourself, even if your vocabulary is small. You can still connect with people, even if your grammar is not perfect. Communication is about connection, not perfection. When you feel this natural flow, it motivates you to keep going. You want to learn more words because now you can use them immediately. You want to listen more because now you understand more. You want to read more because now you can talk about what you read. Everything feeds everything else. Some learners think this stage is too far away. They believe it takes years. But it can come much sooner than you expect if you live in English every day. The key is to remove the fear. Stop waiting to be perfect. Start speaking now. Speak with what you know. Practice daily. Slowly, your brain will stop resisting, and English will feel like your second home. You will still make mistakes. You will still sometimes search for a word. But it will not stop you. You will keep talking. You will smile through it. And people will enjoy speaking with you because you are confident and present in the conversation. I want you to picture this moment for yourself. Imagine sitting in a cafe with friends, speaking English, laughing, sharing your ideas. Imagine traveling and talking to strangers without fear. Imagine joining meetings or classes and feeling like you belong. This is not a dream. This is your future if you keep going. Talking naturally in English is not just about the language. It changes how you see yourself. You feel stronger. You feel proud. You feel capable of more than you thought possible. You start to believe in yourself, and that belief will help you in every area of your life. So keep walking on this path. Keep practicing. Keep speaking. Every day you do, you are moving closer to the day when English will not be a subject you study, but a language you live. And when that day comes, you will look back and realize you have built something amazing inside yourself. Talking will no longer be a challenge. It will be your habit, your skill, your joy. And that is when you will know you are not just learning English anymore. You are living it. Your English journey starts now. Speak today, not someday. Like this video,